Rivera Unfiltered, Backstage and Beyond. This is the official podcast of Rivera 2026 presented by the Rivera Committee VIT Vellore. I am your host Navya and today we are going beyond the lights, beyond the camera and beyond the performance. This journey is about brainstorming ideas in a room to standing across the blinding stage lights with thousands of people cheering. It's about the chaos before the cue, the silence before the music drops, or the pressure before applause hits. We are talking about the photographers who don't just hear music, they hear shutter sounds, and the backstage crew who's always ready to solve the next problem before it even occurs. So if you have ever wondered what really brings Rivera together, or what happens when things almost go wrong, this is Rivera Unfiltered. You see the show, we see the grind. Today, we have Mr. Atar Watzel with us, a talented photographer from the Rivera Committee. Welcome, Mr. Atharv.
Hi Navya. First of all, thank you for having me here. I feel very honored to be present here as your guest. So, I am Atar Watzel, a third-year computer science student from VIT Vellore. And as far as my shooting is concerned, I've been shooting for the last 10 years, almost a decade. And last year I got the chance to shoot the ProShow and the Rivera as a whole, Rivera 2025, and it was once in a lifetime experience for me.
So as you have mentioned that you are a third year student, I'm sure you must have attended the previous two Riveras and it had been a very fun experience. What elements of Rivera are you most excited to capture this year?
So this year, as far as I'm concerned, what I want to capture is the vibe and the essence of the fest. How the fest comes into being, how it happens, the behind the scenes, the hard work that goes into it, the vibe, the overall essence of the fest. That's what I want to capture, and I have a few shots that I really want to get this time. I have those in my mind and I hopefully I get those shots.
That's interesting. I'm sure it would be really fun recording that. I mean, as you are a backstage crew, you have so many moments to record and capture. I want to know what a normal Rivera day feels like for you.
Okay, so as far as normal is concerned, there is nothing normal as such. It's far from normal, I would say. So the first thing, as soon as we wake up from 2 to 3 hours of sleep that we get during the fest, the first thing that I check is whether my batteries are charged or not, if my gear is ready to be used or not, if all of my gear that I want is in shape or not. Then we go to our team leads, seniors, and they guide us on what we are supposed to do. They give us a brief on what all events should we be shooting, how are we supposed to shoot the events and everything. And during the day we shoot a lot of events which are divided among our teams, and there is a lot of team collaboration included in that. And in the evening the best part comes into life, that is the pro show time. And basically the pro show, everybody is looking forward to those. You get to shoot the artist, you go to the pro show, you have some shots in your mind that you want to get these shots during the performance of this particular artist, so you shoot those. After that you have to transfer the footage then and there to the other side of the committee, and after that it's about 2 or 3 in the night. You go back to your room, again you sleep for 2 to 3 hours. That sleep you have to squeeze out, and the day continues, the cycle repeats itself.
I think many people believe that photography means just roaming around the campus, vibing, clicking aesthetic photos. But from what you are saying, I feel it's basically being on duty every second.
I would agree with you. Everybody says that you're a photographer, you get to go everywhere without any hassle, you just go in. But it's more than that. Everybody thinks it's just a new cool thing, but it's not that. We have to be present in the moment as well as think about the next moment, what is going to happen. We have to compose everything. We have to look into what shots can we take, how can we make this shot convey the story that we want to be conveyed. So it's kind of a duty, but I like this duty and I have fun doing it.
So you are basically experiencing Rivera 1 second ahead of everyone
Yes,
else.
Absolutely.
Okay. So how different it is to experience it as a student when you are a fresher, attending multiple events, versus as a backstage crew when you are managing those events?
Okay, so there is a big contrast in this. As a student, when I was a fresher in my first year, I experienced Rivera as a crowd. Basically, you go to from one event to another event, you are out having fun with your friends, you just dance everywhere, you enjoy your time. And as the backstage crew or the photographer, you have a responsibility that you need to be a part of, and you have to fulfill that responsibility. And I would not say it's a headache, but it's a responsibility, and the responsibility is something that every one of us in the committee likes to be a part of. And as far as the crowd part is concerned, you are experiencing the fest, and when it comes to the committee and the backstage crew, you are making the experience for the crowd. So that's the thing. But I enjoy both of them. They have a story to tell from each perspective.
So basically we can say that if one of the part is emotional, the other is operational.
Yes.
If one is living the moment, the other is protecting the moment.
Right on.
Okay. So besides all the tiring work that you have already mentioned, what part do you wish people appreciated more about the backstage crew and committee?
Okay, so what I think the students, everybody thinks that being a part of the Rivera committee is something fun. Even though it is very fun being a part, everybody thinks they are there just for having fun, the night slips and everything. But there is a lot that goes on behind the scene. Everybody is doing their work. They are very hardworking. From our organizers to our managers to our coordinators to our volunteers, everybody is working very hard behind the scene. And it is because of them and our faculties who support us throughout it that Rivera comes into being what it is, and it is the best thing that can ever happen. So I think that is a bit underappreciated, that the committee people, they are just thought of as having fun, even though they are working hard 24/7. They start working from about a month before Rivera, and they work till the very last day.
So basically, like, the committee's work goes for granted.
Yes.
It's taken for granted. Okay. So besides all the work that you've mentioned, I want you to share with us some funny or chaotic Rivera moment that you've experienced.
Oh yeah, I have something funny over here. So last year, I guess it was day 3 or day 4, and I was shooting the crowd, the boys' side, and basically my ID card was just hanging over here. So some guy, I don't know who that was, he just slipped out my ID card from my lanyard, and then I just looked at my ID card and I saw a guy in the crowd. He was raising this ID card like this, and then I went to that guy. I was like, bro, can you give my ID card back? He was like, no, you have to click my photos. I want to post them on Instagram and stuff. And he was kind of blackmailing me, but the funny thing is I clicked his photos, I deleted them then and there, and I got my ID card back.
So basically you did not choose to do what he wanted.
Yes, I had to waste about 10 to 20 minutes finding my ID card and taking his photos.
That's so
I hope
Rivera
you're watching this, whoever it is.
That's so Rivera though, because it's chaotic and dramatic but wholesome at the same time.
Yes.
Okay. So this was about this segment. We'll be moving to the next segment of the podcast, which is basically a quick but a short game. I'll give you 2 choices and you have to tell me which one you'll prefer more. So we'll go with some this or that type of questions. The first question: forgetting lyrics or tripping on stage?
Forgetting lyrics. Tripping on stage is very embarrassing. I don't want that embarrassment to go with me.
But I'm sure you would also not want to forget lyrics on the stage.
Well, I can improvise anytime.
Okay. Free merch or free food?
Free food any time of the day. Everybody wants free food.
I think
Merch
in
you can
college
buy.
and everybody would want to go
Yes,
for
every
free
student would go for free food. He would just run towards free food.
Okay. Dance battle or rap battle?
If I have to do nothing,
Okay.
but I would prefer, as a crowd, I would prefer a rap battle.
Okay. After party or sleep immediately?
Oh, after party. After party is something that will not happen ever again. It's a memory that you won't be able to create ever again until and unless you are in that moment. So after party, you can sleep anytime, but after party is something that won't be repeated.
I thought that basically because you guys sleep really less for over past a month, so I thought you would choose sleep immediately.
No, after party is something that you should absolutely be a part of.
Front row or backstage entry?
Backstage entry. I think that backstage entry has an aura of its own, and there is a slight chance that you might even get to meet the artist and you get to experience how everything comes to be.
Okay. Morning person or night owl?
Night owl. I think everybody here is a night owl. Everybody in college is a night owl.
Everybody's running behind assignments.
Yes. If you are an engineering student, you have to be a night owl. I think so.
Okay. Performing first or performing the last?
As far as I'm concerned, I don't think I'll even be comfortable performing. I'll be more comfortable in shooting the performances.
Okay. Group selfies or candid shots?
Candid shots any time of the day.
Tight schedule or go with the flow days?
Go with the flow. Just go what you're given. Just do it and enjoy the moment. Be in the moment.
Okay. The last question. cultural fest or technical fest?
For me, I would prefer cultural fest as you experience a lot of things apart from technology. Being engineering students, we experience technology almost every day. But cultural fest, they bring in something more to our lives and a new experience, a lot of new experiences.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Atharv, for joining us today. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you for having me here as a guest. I feel very honored again, I'll say that. And whatever you guys are doing, it's commendable work. Just keep it up and keep shining. And all the best to you guys. Make this Rivera the best Rivera possible. And kudos to you all. Let's go.
Best of luck to you too for creating and protecting the moments that you capture.
Thank you.
I believe we have spoken a lot about the lens and the attraction behind the scenes. But what I really think is we have seen only the one side. Because the real story, it doesn't just live in the crowd. It lives behind the stage. So this is the perfect moment to shift gears. I would now like to pass on this to my co-host, Miss Ishika, and uncover what lies behind the stage.
I am Ishika Gangwal. Now, so far whatever you have heard sounds exciting. The lights, the reaction, the magic in motion. But anyone who has been in the committee knows the real pressure. It builds where the audience cannot see, the backstage. So, to cover that side of Rivera, we have Mr. Aditya Sharma with us. Could you introduce yourself to the audience, please?
Hi, I am Aditya. I am a 4th year mechanical student here at VIT Vellore. I have been shooting for almost the last 10 years and last year I was lucky enough to get to shoot Rivera.
Okay, so Mr. Atharv has already shared his experiences of Rivera and ProShows. Let's hear about your side of perspective for Rivera. So tell me, when you hear of Rivera, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
The first thing that comes to my mind is like I get to build my portfolio. That is the one main thing. And second of all, I get to meet new people. I get to meet artists potentially. And like one thing in my mind is that I have to come back with a banger shot. I have to look at that shot and I will be like, nice work. So that and a combination of sleepless nights and did I charge my batteries or not? Do I have enough storage? So that is basically what goes on in my mind.
So basically for the crowd it's all entertainment, but for you it's capturing the moment and apparently charging your batteries.
Yes, exactly.
Since you have covered many pro shows, the moments before the pro show actually starts must be very intense. So can you walk us through what really happens before the pro show really starts?
So before the pro shows, we obviously get there before the audience does. So we have to decide like where we're going to stand, what shots we have to take. And like I'll give you an example. Last year we had a railing right in front of the stage. That was very irritating. It ended up in every shot, literally every shot. So that ruined a lot of them. So we have like things like that we have to get around. So we have to plan like how to like what shots we're going to take. Like we have to take into account those obstructions. So we basically do that, and that kills the time there.
So if I talk about myself, I am not aware of Backstage a lot, but I'm eager to know more after hearing whatever you said just now. So do you have any like one-on-one interaction with a celebrity or any other pro show artist?
Yeah, actually last year we had Anushka Kaushik in campus, and coincidentally it was my birthday. So I went for a shoot in the guest house, and there I met her. Like she got to know it was my birthday, so she got me busy in the shoot. She was like, I'll change dresses. It was just to keep me sitting there so the guest care people could arrange a cake, and she was so sweet. Honestly, we celebrated my birthday in her room. It was probably the best birthday anyone could ask for.
Your birthday must be very memorable then.
Yes.
And if I think about myself, I wish I could see my favorite artist someday. So, if you are given an opportunity to relive one pro show night again, which one would it be?
Honestly, it would be the first night. Shreya Ghoshal was there, and I've honestly just seen her on TV and on my phone. It was absolutely unreal seeing her in person, and I was right in front of her and she was making eye contact. It was unreal for me. So that is one night I would relive.
So when there was Shreya Ghoshal's concert, it was my first year. So I was really excited for seeing her live or perform on stage. So it was very memorable for me too. Now we have had enough questions about ProShow. Let's play a quick game.
Yes.
So I will So I will ask you some questions, which will be rapid fire questions, and you have to answer them truthfully. So the first question goes, what's the weirdest food combination you have tried before?
Okay, this is going to be a difficult one. I would pick aloo bhujia and curd.
That's very weird. I would never try that.
Definitely worth a try.
I disagree. Moving on to next question. If you are given a chance to swap lives with someone for a week, who would it be?
It would be any of the artists' managers actually, because like they get to be with the artist full time. They get to enjoy what the artist is enjoying, and and they're getting paid for it basically. So that is just a dream life for me.
That's actually very interesting. Like they have to be together with the artist, and it's very enjoyable for them also. The last question is, what's the most embarrassing moment you have?
Okay, so the most embarrassing moment, let me think about it. There have been many, so the most embarrassing, yes. Yeah, so I was at an event here in the college itself. So the event was like a 4 or 5 day event, and at the last day they were giving out like basic like small gifts to everyone that volunteered. I was one of the volunteers there. So what happened was, I was standing in the crowd, I was a photographer there, and they called out that all the media volunteers. I wasn't really listening, so everyone started looking at me that you also have to go. Then I was like a center of attention. I realized that I'm being called up on stage, and at that moment I kind of panicked, honestly. I went towards the stage, I got on the stage and I tripped. Everyone was looking at me and I tripped.
That's really embarrassing though.
Yeah.
So moving on to our last question for today. What's the one sentence that perfectly sums up Rivera for you?
One sentence that sums up Rivera. It has to be sleepless nights that I will remember for the rest of my life.
Honestly, I've heard that like sleeping in Rivera's is a myth, and I truly believe that now.
It is definitely a myth. We used to sleep at like 2 o'clock and wake up at 3 o'clock morning. Yes.
So that's it for today's questions. Thank you for joining us, and we were delighted to meet you today. Thank you for sharing your experiences with us.
Welcome.
So before we sign off, here's a quick shout out to Hunt for the Hype, which is happening on 28th February from 9 am to 3 pm. It's creativity, strategy and a little chaos all rolled up into one. Basically, it's a high energy campus challenge in which the participants start with nothing and race across campus to find clues, checkpoints and many more. So grab up your team and chase the hype. To all the people working backstage and to all the crowd living it all in, this is Rivera Unfiltered. We'll be back with more stories and more behind the scenes reality. Until then, stay tuned and stay unfiltered.